What's up, guys, and welcome back to another one. It is recap time for New Zealand versus Springboks that just took place in the World Cup opener for these two fantastic teams. Not the game I was expecting, not the game I was hoping. South Africa weren't good at all in the first half. Second half was a big improvement, but first half wasn't good. New Zealand completely dominated and looked sharp and really looked like they were absolutely going in house blazing. I mean, the movements were great. The forwards were good. I just thought it was a solid performance from New Zealand, where South Africa just did not look like they were up to it. And a lot of work needs to be done. Firstly, box kicking. That was our weakest point of the whole game. We need to work on it in order to try and get further in this game. Otherwise, we're not going to go far in the World Cup. We've got to produce the results in these games, especially against New Zealand, who we could potentially meet in a final. So as for South Africa, I wanted to see a better improvement from a kicking game. When we started running in the second half, it was a way better game. South Africa looked sharp, they looked solid, and we started scoring tries, and then we started coming back, and we looked great contenders, and the All Blacks were looking a bit under pressure. But then we just dropped down, and we started kicking again, and we just lost the ball. Why Faf? Herschel Yankees came on in the last 10 minutes. I do not know. Sia Khaleesi was dropped off early, which I think is a big loss for South Africa, hoping he's okay and not injured. But, God, it wasn't a great game for South Africa. All Blacks completed in every opportunity that they had in order to take it on, and I think credit to them for performing a great result in the game. As for South Africa, they just need to work on the basics. We were on the try line. We should have scored. Chase and Colby got a great break, and we got through. But then South Africa lost the ball, and we just didn't get that final movement that we needed to get in order to produce the results needed. So it was a missed opportunity, and I think that could have maybe changed the game, but it just didn't. And those are things that can cost you a World Cup, can cost you a game. So South Africa really need to show up in the upcoming games if they are wanting to produce any form of result in order to pick up a victory. As for New Zealand, they just capitalized on opportunities. And the scary thing with New Zealand is when they got the tries, when they got the points, they produced the results that they needed to do. And they showed the dominance. They showed their play. And all credit and respect to them. And the scary part was their bench is just as terrifying. You got Sonny Bull, you got Ben Smith. I mean, those are great players. So credit to New Zealand for picking up a solid win. Definitely deserved winners today. As for South Africa, we did wake up second half, but I'm expecting us to play more like we played in the second half, because fact proven, whether you agree or disagree, when we run the game, we play way better than we do when we're freaking kicking the ball. When we're kicking the ball away, New Zealand get the ball, they run. I mean, with wings like Severies, who had a great game, or George Bridge, I mean, crikey, you're going to lose the damn game. Play hard, play respectful, and actually get somewhere before you freaking lose the ball like we did. And that was my biggest upset. Look, it's not Faf's fault. We blame Faf. We moaned about Faf in the stream. But the problem is Rusty's giving in the orders. So therefore, what's Faf going to do? How Faf's listening to his coach? I believe Rusty needs to rethink his strategy in order to getting some movement in the game, some tries, some going at the points when the South Africans are playing. Because once we freaking run, we get points, we get movement. But when we don't, we kick the ball away. New Zealand capitalize, and then they get it out. So as for that, great game of rugby from New Zealand. Good little fight back from South Africa in the second half, but credit to New Zealand. If we look at some of the statistics, obviously George Bridge picking up a try in the 24th minute, Scott Barrett in the 27th, simple try. Richie Mwanga converting, doing the kicker, and then Bowden Barrett getting the 72th minute penalty. Peter Steph Toy scored a great try for the Springboks, and then obviously conversion for the Boks as well. So only the one try in it, but it was a great try from the Springboks. Very impressed. If we look at meters run, 367 versus 372 to the Springboks. Possession, South Africa dominated the game. Possession, 53% to South Africa, 47% to New Zealand. Territory, 59% to South Africa, 41% to the All Blacks. So we had the ball, we had the opportunity, we had the movement, but we just didn't go that extra mile in order to convert this damn stuff into points. Pretty much the first half was obviously New Zealand's, but then South Africa caught a wake up in that second half, and that's what led us to where we got to. If we look at scrums, All Blacks 8 out of 8, 100%. South Africa lost to one scrum where the All Blacks dominated. Lineouts, All Blacks lost two, South Africa 100%. So good to see us solid in the lineouts. I'm impressed with that. Defending was poor. Poor from South Africa. 107 total tackles made, 72 of them being successful. That's not good enough. New Zealand 114, 86 of those successful. Also not great. 75% and 67% for South Africa. A lot needs to be improved, but here's what cost us the game. 9 penalties conceded for South Africa. That is not good enough. We need to work on that. We need to improve that. And the All Blacks gave away 4. So not a great result for South Africa, not a great result for us at all, but it's early stages. The World Cup has just begun. We've got a long way to go, and I'm excited to see what we have in store for us. We've got Namibia and Canada next, so it should be an interesting contest between these two teams. Yes, we lost to the All Blacks, fine, but there's a potential of meeting them in the final if we get that far. We might hit Ireland, depending on what happens between Ireland and Scotland, then Wales potentially, or Australia. So there's a long way to go in the Rugby World Cup. By no means is South Africa out of the World Cup. There's a long way to go. So I have faith in the boys that they're going to bounce back, show up and play some great sport, play some great rugby. But we just need to show up and play some solid sport and just show what South Africa are made of. Because if we don't do that, we're just going to get dominated. So credit to New Zealand. I'm excited for their campaign. I thought they looked solid. I think they've got an amazing wing pairing in Sever Reece and George Bridge. And I mean, you got Rico Ioane when he's on form. He is solid as hell. So New Zealand are just looking great. They've got a solid team in depth, and they're going to be a threat in this World Cup. And I'm excited to see them getting a bigger challenge as we hit the quarterfinals and semifinals. So that should be exciting stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing those results. The World Cup started off with a bang. Japan or Russia giving Japan a good run. We saw Fiji giving Australia a good run. Obviously, Japan and Australia picking up victories. France versus Argentina was intense. France picking up a victory. I was hoping Argentina, but just wasn't the case. But yeah, and then South Africa, New Zealand, an intense game of rugby. It was good. It was solid, but a lot of improvement needed. If South Africa want to get anywhere in this World Cup, they need to capitalize on opportunities. Otherwise, we're going home, and we need to stop kicking. We need to run. When we run, we play way better sport. So fingers crossed, and I hope South Africa can improve. I hope Rusty talks to the boys. Definitely from second half talk, the Springboks played a lot better. So we need to talk more. We need to communicate more. Um, and hopefully South Africa can bounce back and actually play some proper rugby instead of this kicking game, because the kicking just didn't work. Willie Leroux had an opportunity for speed. He kicked the ball away. South Africa lost the ball. Mapimpi I thought wasn't great at all. I want to see Spoon Corsi playing for the Boks. He needs to be in the team. The problem that we mentioned in the gambling areas that Steve Hansen targeted, South African wings weren't always on attack, and New Zealand capitalized. Credit to New Zealand. Well done to them on picking up a great victory, and hopefully South Africa can bounce back against Namibia and Canada and get some solid results. And Italy, sorry, let's not forget Italy. That's going to be a cracking game too. So all the best to New Zealand and South Africa going forward. Hopefully South Africa can bounce back. But for all the New Zealand supporters out there, congratulations. Great first win, all important win. But it's not the end of the world for South Africa. We will be back. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys real soon for another video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.